first lead you. If you're trolling for no reason, then we don't need you. It's Sick XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop. Ride dirty, tell me y'all can't harm. Living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. Ride dirty, tell me y'all can't harm. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty.
What up, what up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy, Vic XL, and this is the Ryan Dirty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip-hop and everyday life, man. I want to say one time for the good people over at WRFG, 89.3 FM, my FM radio home for the past 15 years. Also, got to say one time for the good people over at Live365.com. I'm proud to announce we've partnered up with Live365.com. And for those who might not know about Live365.com, Live365.com, they are the internet's oldest and longest running streaming service. Now, but they're not your average everyday streaming service. They're not set up for you to stream your favorite singles or your favorite projects or albums. No, they are a server for terrestrial radio, internet radio, left side of the dial radio, college radio, community radio, for radio stations to broadcast via their server on the internet. I'm proud to announce we've partnered up with Live365 and launched our own media-based tracking internet radio station. And the name of our station is Ride 95. Now, for those who might not understand or know what media-based tracking means, that means if your music is registered through Sound Exchange, BMI, or ASCAP, then you can start earning royalties for your radio play. Okay. Also, got to say one time for our good sponsors, the good people over at Liquor Lollipops. Liquor Lollipops is a premium hard candy designed to taste like your favorite alcoholic beverage. Okay. Now, they have over 15 plus flavors. Be sure to visit them at liquorlollipops.com. Find out how you can become a brand ambassador and find out how you can have Liquor Lollipops at your next event. Okay? All right. Now, got to say one time in salute to Mr. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They were sworn in today as president and vice president. If you haven't had an opportunity to see some of the very encouraging words for the United States he had during his inaugural speech, I strongly suggest you go back and watch it. Now, for all my people of color, all my brown people, I'm here to tell you, over the next 4 years, we're in a position that we've never been before, at least in my lifetime, to see some real change in our country when it comes to economic and racial justice. So hopefully everything works out the way it should. All right? They're already saying that Joe Biden will not get a second term. I've never heard anyone say that on the first day of someone taking office, but hopefully over the next 4 years we'll see some major change. All right? All right, so one time for the good people at WRFG 89.3 FM Atlanta, Georgia. One time for the good people over at Live 365, and thank you for partnering up with us to launch our radio station, Ride 95. And last but not least, one time for our official sponsor, the good people over at Liquor Lollipops. All right, now, y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to do what I like doing most, and that's bringing you the people on the street, the people in the community, the people that are definitely taking life by the horns and making something major of it. The people that are changing our culture, whether it's through arts, entertainment, philanthropism, entrepreneurship, just doing good in the hood. The Ryan Dirty platform is for you. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight is no different than any other night on the Ryan Dirty Show. So welcome to the Ryan Dirty Show. Artist, producer, solo Lamaze. What's going on, sir?
Yo, what's good with you?
Man, I'm maintaining. The first thing I got... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was making sure you can hear me.
Yes, sir. The first thing I got to ask you is, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, you got it right on the first track, man.
Solo Lamaze. All right. So look, let's give these people a walk in the life of Mr. Solo Lamaze. The first thing I want to ask you is let the people know where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, by way of Chicago.
All right, Louisville, Kentucky. And what was your introduction to the music business? When did you realize that you had the knack to survive in this game?
It was just something I realized I could do afterwards. It's something I could get lost doing it. Once I always loved music, but then once I started making music, time didn't exist. So once I realized that was a thing, time not existing, and I can get lost in it for hours at a time, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Coming up and realizing that, you could definitely make it. Who are some of your inspirations when it comes to being an artist and creating music?
I look up to the guys like Jay-Z, Kanye West, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Jeezy. These like some of my favorites. So, yeah, those are my inspirations right there.
Okay. Now, did you grow up in Chicago or did you grow up in Kentucky?
I was born in Chicago, then I grew up in Louisville.
All right. What took you to Louisville?
My mama did. My mama, she just moved us. She moved us. She seemed to get ready to get real bad. So she moved us, you know what I'm saying? And moved us down to Louisville.
All right. So while in Louisville, what was it like growing up in your households? Were there brothers, sisters, siblings? What was the community like, and how was the community to you?
The community, it's the hood like any other hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the projects. I'm from the west side of town. Little sister in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the hood, man. Like all hoods worldwide. I'm pretty sure you got hoods where you from, so it's the same, man. The world's just one big ghetto,
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Now, at what age did you realize, though, like, a lot of us, we do talent shows. A lot of us, our parents make us sing in front of our friends. Like, when did you realize you had a talent?
When I realized, probably like early teens, pre-teens, around that age. Like early teens, pre-teens, That's when I knew it. I knew I had a knack for something. I played sports. I did all that, but like I said, once I was doing music, I used to always listen to music all day, every day. Listen to music, play it in the headphones, play it in the speakers. You know what I'm saying? In your little CD Walkman and all of that. And I listened to it so much, it was just natural for me to start making music. So that was just the next step, and then I was making it, doing writing raps. Then I tried to get into production. I tried to get beats from other guys when no other guys give me beats, so I made my own tracks. And then trying my own studio time was starting to get hard, so I started recording myself. And that's how I learned to become self-sufficient. And I just got good at all those things because I just always wanted the best sound.
All right. Now, do you think it was any particular reason it was hard to find producers to work with, or it was just you being young, or like, because a lot of times I know a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm letting you speak. Yeah. Finish.
A lot of times coming up.
Like a lot of times artists. Yeah.
A lot of times artists, it's hard for them to find the right producer. Sometimes in your area, the producers might be haters. They might be crabbing. Like, what do you feel like it was in your instance that it was hard for you to find a producer that made you realize you had to do it yourself?
I probably wasn't that good when I first started out. We all think we dope, but I don't know. I probably wasn't that good, or maybe it was hate. Maybe I was, too aggressive, but I never found people that was patient to give me a shot. you know. So with that, I couldn't let my dreams stop there. So like I said, I just started making my own tracks because like I had to have tracks. You know, I started making my own tracks. And then with the studios and stuff, I put programs on my computers and was recording myself. And it was just like from there, it's just like nothing can stop me. I can make music anytime I want. I don't have to wait on this at this time or this hour. Like my fate is in my hands. So if I want to make music all night or all day or take all day to make a beat or take all day to get a song right, I have that option. And to this day, like I produce my own music, record my own music, and all that, the whole thing.
All right, now.
It's much better that way. I prefer it that way.
Yeah, because you can do it whenever you want. You ain't got to set no studio time. There's absolutely no boundaries. What do you prefer most? Being behind the mic or being behind the board?
What do I prefer most?
Yes.
That's a hard one. Like because like I do whichever. Like when I'm not that inspired with making the songs, then I produce. When I'm not that hot inspired with producing, I make the music. You know, and then being behind the boards, you know, that's probably the third least out of all. Even though I could do it exceptional, I had my own studio in Louisville. You know, it was one of the main studios that everybody come to, like your Jack Harlow's, your Bryson Tillers, and your ESTs and all of that. So, but, you know, it's gruesome work, you know, when you record other people. So, like, yeah, I'd much rather record myself than other people. But, yeah, so I can say, like, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question right or not.
No, you did. You definitely did. Now, what's the Kentucky music scene like? Because you definitely got some artists that are breaking out. You got Jack Harlow. You got Bryson Tiller. What's the scene like there when it comes to independent artists? And do you feel like the industry is starting to take notice?
The industry has most definitely started to take notice. Like you said, you got your Jack Harlows. You got your Bryson Tillers, ESTG. They're on the way. Heavy hitters. It's a lot of talent. We've been waiting long enough, and now that the playing field has been made even, and you got these breakout artists coming. You know, I'm so happy to see it because I'm like one of the second artists to ever get played. I'm the first, like after Nappy Roots, it's me. You know, after Nappy Roots, I'm like one of the second artists that the local radio station has ever played. You know, so I feel like I was able to trailblaze a way for artists to be able to believe in this. Because when I was like in my early years, like as a teen and stuff like that, a lot of people didn't believe in this. So you look goofy trying to be a rapper, like, because Louisville's a trap state. You know, we get money in the streets, but like eventually, you know, people started believing in the vision and believing they can make something out of themselves. So I'm very proud of what's happening on the music scene in Louisville, Kentucky right now.
No doubt. What kept you away from the streets? Especially when you're saying it's like a trapper state. Like, what kept you away from the streets and kept you in the studio and kept you pursuing your musical dreams?
I always knew it was possible. I mean, we dabbled and dabbled. You know, I'm no saint. But the music has always been the main mission. Even if I had to go to the streets, it was probably so I could fuel the music, you know, or, you know, sponsor the music. So, you know, just knowing that it can be done, knowing that, like, I done been, like, I'm the last artist to work with Static Major. You know, if you don't know who Static is, he's the songwriter that wrote all, like, Aaliyah hits, Genuine hits. You know, I always been close. You know, I always been, you know, it's just always something that I could believe in. You know, everybody believes in it. So it's just like, you know, when everybody's telling you something, you got to go with that.
That was going to be my next question. What was it like working with the late, great Static Major, and what did you learn from working with someone so talented?
I learned a lot about melody, harmony. You know, I learned a lot of stuff about harmony because he's like, one of the great harmonizers. I learned a lot about songwriting. I learned like not going with your first idea, really constructing a dope song, instead of just slapping together. I haven't seen a professional do it. I done seen him have 5, 6 different ideas before he stick to one. And I seen him like he'll do them, and then he'd be like, he never went with the first thing he ever came up with. He's always like, yeah, I can do better, or I already got a song talking about phones, or he was very meticulous and dope with the harmonies, man.
Okay, no doubt. Now, Solo Lamaze, that is a very different name. Tell me the origin of your name. How did the name come about?
My real name's Lamaze. I used to not like my name at first because a lot of people used to pronounce it wrong. So, like, we all come up with nicknames. So I just came up with the nickname Solo. And it kind of, like, was like me write my own prophecy because, like, I run about myself a lot. I'm like the Indiana Jones type of character. It's always been me versus the world, so Solo. And then once I realized, Solo was kind of a common name, I swear I went back to Lamaze. I used Lamaze as my name, but then I established a fan base as Solo, so I just put them both together and then came up with Solo Lamaze.
All right. Being an independent artist and producers, what has been the hardest part about your come up?
The hardest part, just blocking out all the noise, man. Just blocking out all the noise, trying your hardest not to, like, follow trends, staying true to yourself. Because it's so easy to see something working for one person, and you might be tempted to do that, or you might want to resist it. It's just because nowadays this industry's like very monkey see, monkey do, or trendy, and everybody, once one person see a formula works, everybody try to use that formula. Like once one door opens, you got a whole bunch of people that try to run through that door. And another door opens, you got a whole bunch of people trying to run through that door. So it's just like sticking to your own unique path and like truly trusting your process. Because everybody's process is their process. And a lot of times we tend to compare, and that's I think that's what's wrong with a lot of artists. If we just can compare ourselves to ourselves instead of others, we'll all get a lot further in this game. A lot further.
Okay. Now,
focusing and comparing myself to me, that's one of the things right there.
No doubt. Now, at this point in your career, what do you feel like has been your most prized accomplishment?
Touring, like, I just had a record with Khaled, I just had a record with Khaled, toured with Def Jam, Sony, all through the United States, Midwest, down south, got radio play. The whole man had a situation, had a deal with Sony, had the whole man. Then like took a hiatus because I didn't like how the deal was. Took like a hiatus for almost like a year and a half to 2 years, and then came back out of nowhere and dropped my new single, Ain't Normal. And the debut of this single was bigger than the record I had with Khaled.
Okay, that's dope.
So that was amazing for me. For me to be able to take a break like that and come back and be so well received I think that's my most prized moment. And then the record is a dope record. It's true to me. People can relate to it, and it really encapsulates the times going on right now. So to be able to get all that in one, to where you got a dope song that bops, and you got a message behind it too, and you got the kids loving it, you got everybody 8 to 80 blind cripple crazy loves this record. Where the last record I had with Khaled, only some chicks liked it, or You know, it was a scattered group. This record right here, I've not got one bad review on it whatsoever, man. And I'm beyond grateful for that.
What was it like working with an artist like Khaled, who's had, man, multiple multi-platinum albums? What was it like working with Khaled, and how did that come about?
Man, I was just in the right place at the right time, man. It was surreal. You know, the homie threw me a bone, and I that's all I could have. That's good enough for me, and I turned it into states and make the best out of it and did what I could do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm forever grateful for that, brother. Shout out Khaled.
All right, no doubt. All right, let's talk a little bit about your joint, Ain't Normal. What's the concept behind it? Did you actually produce it? Tell me everything there is to know about Ain't Normal as well as the official video.
Ain't Normal. It's a record, man. It's like I was in the lab working during the lockdown. And, I had some records that was like going to be like some of my first releases, and I had some records that I was pretty confident in, but like probably like 95%. It was some like still on my soul that I wanted to get out in the process of me creating, making music, and having sessions and all of that. So like I didn't like Ain't Normal wasn't the title. That like even the concept wasn't the concept. It was just like an outline of a picture. You know, it was just like I can't explain. It was just like some type of. It was something. It was like I'm missing something. I'm missing something because my spirit was just telling me I was missing something. And then when I heard the track, I was like, that's it right there. Like I heard the track. And I was like, that's it. And the words just poured out of my mouth. And I did that song like in 10, 15 minutes. And once I finished that song, the other songs that I thought I was going to put out got pushed to the back burner. And this was priority number one. So we was able to talk about everything that's going on as far as the social injustices people go through, the plight of the black person in America, the black on everything. We was able to put it all in one. The black on black crime, the Breonna Taylor situation, which happened at home. So that was very close to my heart too. So I had to speak on that because that happened in my hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. So I was able to get a lot of gems out on this record. And it bops. You know what I'm saying? It don't sound like no Talib Kweli, and much respect to Talib Kweli, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't sound like no Talib Kweli or no self, no KRS-One. Sometimes when we think of conscious music, we tend to associate it with boom bap or some DJ Premier type of beats. This record actually pops. Like you could throw Dirk on there. You could throw Lil Baby, you could throw whoever on this joint, and it's gonna go through the roof.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, how has the World Wide Web and social media affect how you market and promote your music to the masses?
I mean, at this point, right now, with the situation, that's how we kind of got. Touring is like being pushed to a high. Ain't too many people touring and going city to city. Because I'm used to that way as well, just like going city to city, going radio station to radio station, going venue to venue, performing here, performing there. So I'm used to like the Chipman circuit and actually getting out and working the record, hand-to-hand combat. So it's been like an adjustment for a lot of us as far as adjusting to the web and being only on the web. So you got to be a little bit more active. People got to see you more than they normally do, and you just got to keep pushing the envelope with the World Wide Web. But the World Wide Web is the whole wide world, ain't it?
That's right. That's right.
In the web.
That's right. All right. With that being said, how can people find Solo Lamaze when it comes to the World Wide Web and social media?
Well, it says Solo Lamaze. That's SOLOLAMAZE. That's all my social media handles. That's all the streaming platforms. Solo Lamaze on all streaming platforms. Anywhere you can get music. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my Spotify channel, my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snap, everything. Everything internet Solo Lamaze. Rock with your boy.
All right. Do me a favor, my G, and introduce this record to the world.
Yo, what's good? It's your player partner, Solo Lamaze, 502 Come Ups in the building. This is my new record, Ain't Normal, out everywhere right now.
Appreciate it, my G.
Hey, man,